The sun was beginning to set, painting the horizon in hues of orange and pink as Elon Musk steered his Tesla through the quiet suburban streets. It had been a long week filled with back-to-back meetings, strategy sessions, and the constant demands of his work. Today, however, he had decided to take a detour, seeking a moment of peace. Driving through unfamiliar neighborhoods gave him a sense of anonymity he rarely experienced. As the Tesla glided down a tree-lined street, something unusual caught Elon's attention. On the side of the road, a small figure sat hunched over on the curb. He slowed the car, narrowing his eyes to get a better look. It was a little girl, clutching a stuffed bear, her shoulders shaking as though she were crying. Elon's logical mind immediately began analyzing the situation. A child alone on a quiet street at this hour? It didn't sit right with him. He pulled the car over and stepped out, his shoes crunching softly on the gravel. "Hey there," he called out gently, not wanting to startle her. The girl looked up, her face streaked with tears. Her big, frightened eyes locked onto his, and for a moment she didn't say anything. Elon noticed her clothes were slightly rumpled, her shoes scuffed, as if she had been wandering for hours. "What's your name?" he asked, crouching to her level. "Emily," she whispered, clutching the bear tighter. "Hi, Emily. My name's Elon. Are you here alone? Where's your family?" Emily sniffled and looked down at the bear. "I don't know where my mommy is. She went to the store and didn't come back." Elon's heart sank. The vulnerability in her voice struck a chord deep within him. He glanced around, scanning the empty street for any sign of someone looking for her. There was no one. "How long have you been here?" he asked gently. Emily shrugged. "A long time," she said softly. Elon took a deep breath, his mind already racing with possibilities. "Okay, Emily," he said, keeping his voice calm. "We're going to figure this out together. Do you know your mom's phone number?" Emily shook her head. "Do you know where you live?" She nodded and pointed down the street. "That way." "All right," Elon said, standing up and offering his hand. "Let's go check if your mom's back home, okay?" Emily hesitated for a moment, then placed her small hand in his. Together, they walked toward her apartment building, the quiet street amplifying the sound of their footsteps. As they approached the apartment complex, Elon noticed how worn down it looked. The paint was peeling, and several windows were boarded up. Emily led him to a unit on the ground floor, but something was off. The door was slightly ajar, swinging gently in the evening breeze. "Wait here," Elon said, his tone firm but reassuring. He pushed the door open and stepped inside cautiously. The apartment was small and sparsely furnished, but it was in complete disarray. The coffee table was overturned, papers and books scattered across the floor. It looked as though someone had left in a hurry, or been forced to. "Elon?" Emily's small voice called from the doorway. He turned back and knelt down. "Emily, it looks like your mom isn't here right now. But don't worry, we're going to find her. I promise." Tears welled up in her eyes, and Elon felt an overwhelming urge to protect her. He pulled out his phone and activated Tesla's advanced AI features, connecting to nearby security cameras. Within minutes, he had access to footage from the area. As he reviewed the footage, he saw a woman matching Emily's description of her mother walking down the street earlier that afternoon. She entered a convenience store a few blocks away. But then, Elon's stomach tightened. A man appeared in the footage, lingering near the store's entrance. He was wearing a dark jacket and a baseball cap, his face partially obscured. Elon replayed the footage, his sharp mind piecing together the events. The man had followed Emily's mother as she exited the store, confronting her near her car. There was no audio, but the footage showed her shaking her head and trying to walk away. The man grabbed her arm, forcing her into a van parked nearby. "Elon, what's wrong?" Emily asked, sensing his tension. He crouched down and placed a hand on her shoulder. "Emily, I think I know where your mom might be, but I need to call some people to help us, okay?" She nodded, trusting him completely. Elon contacted the local police explaining the situation in detail. He also used Tesla's satellite tracking system to locate the van, which had been abandoned in a remote area outside the city. The police assured him they would handle the situation, but Elon wasn't one to sit on the sidelines. "I'm coming with you," he told the officers. They hesitated, but eventually agreed. Elon wasn't just a bystander. He had the resources and determination to make a difference. The trail led them to an old warehouse on the outskirts of town. The building was dark and foreboding, its windows shattered and walls covered in graffiti. Elon's heart raced as the police prepared to enter. Inside, they found Emily's mother tied to a chair, her face pale but uninjured. The man responsible was apprehended, his motives unclear but undoubtedly sinister. Emily's mother broke down in tears as she was reunited with her daughter. "Thank you," she whispered to Elon, her voice trembling. "I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't found her." Elon shook his head. "You don't need to thank me. I'm just glad you're both safe." As he drove home that night, the events of the day replayed in Elon's mind. He couldn't stop thinking about Emily's tear-streaked face, her small hand clutching his as they walked together. It had been a stark reminder that even in his world of technology and innovation, the simplest acts of kindness could have the most profound impact. For Emily and her mother, Elon Musk wasn't a billionaire or a tech mogul. He was a stranger who had stepped out of his Tesla to help when they needed it most.